one can claim that coveted top step of the podium. With 20 turns and a length of 3.7 miles, Baku City Circuit in the heart of the Azerbaijan capital is a real test of a driver's endurance, patience and precision. 90-degree corners through Sector 1 lead into a tightening uphill sprint as we start to circle around the old city. Then a 1.4-mile chase flat out through Sector 3 towards the finish line.
What's going on, guys? Boosted and Dragons here, and welcome back to the Co-op My Team series on F1 2020. This is round 6 for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Yep, absolutely. So now you can see on the screen the qualifying results are here, and Valtteri Bottas has taken pole position here ahead of my teammate Beast. So that's absolutely fantastic stuff. I don't know where I've gone. I'm in P8, but amazing stuff from Beast. He's found a lot more grip in the car around Baku. But very good qualifying for us.
So here is the strategy for today's race. It's going to be a one-stop from the softs to the mediums because the hard tyre is not really a great tyre around Baku. And we're really hoping to get a really good result because we actually managed to get on the front row. So there's definitely a good chance for scoring a podium in this one.
Or maybe if you get a good enough start, you could even win the whole race. So that would be absolutely legendary as we get into the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So we are now revving up to 5 red lights here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
And the Azerbaijan Grand Prix is underway, and it's a pretty decent start for us. We almost go right into the side of Hamilton and we managed to fend them off into turn 1, so we maintain P2 for now.
And I'm actually pressuring Lance Stroll right now going into turn 2. I wasn't able to make a move, and look how slow we were going through there.
Well, we've got yellow flags behind us, but I'm pretty sure it's nothing as there's green flags again. Bottas leads after the first couple of corners. We maintain P2. Dragons is stuck behind the racing point. He's going to absolutely send it into the third turn. And that is a lovely move from Dragons, moving up another place.
Yeah, up to P6 now. So quite a good start for me, really. If I can keep up this pace, I could maybe find myself on the podium.
So, you might think that you might get a podium. I definitely agree with you, Dragons, because that's a pretty strong start, and it's quite hard to pass around Baku except that long straight at the end of the lap. So, Dragons moves up 2 places. We maintain position on lap 1, which isn't great, but it's not bad. As we cut on to lap number 3, Dragons has caught on to Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, I'm right behind him. Meanwhile, you're still struggling to try and catch up to Valtteri Bottas, and now we move on again to the end of the lap. And now we're on the huge straight. My Mercedes engine should be pretty powerful enough to get past the Renault. I'm in the slipstream, and I should have DRS this lap. I use the overtake, and this should be an easy move.
Yeah, so Dragon's definitely putting pressure on the Australian to get up to 5th place. And let's see if he's going to do it into turn 1. Meanwhile, for us, we nearly hit Bottas. And Dragons looks to go round the outside of Ricciardo into turn 1. And he's got the job done beautifully. A great move from Dragons once again. And we've hit the wall at the exit of turn 2.
For goodness sake, what on earth happened?
I tried to pass Bottas. I let him back through because I didn't want to get through with, by making contact. And now we've damaged our front wing and we've got like 3/4 of the lap to do. We cut onto the end of the lap again. And now we're going to have to repair the front wing.
So things could not have gone worse for you right now. You're in the pit lane, and after a potential podium, it looks like it's potentially going to be no points for you, which is absolutely awful news.
It is an absolute disaster. It's not the first time a crash has cost us points this season. Remember Canada, where we could have got a podium there as well. So now we're on a set of medium tyres, and it's a bit of an early pit stop because I think we're like 4 laps in. So it's going to be pretty difficult to get these tyres to the end of the race.
Yeah, you're going to have to try and manage your tyres and keep up with the pace of the other drivers who have just pitted in as we now move on towards the end of lap 6. Valtteri Bottas has flown away. I'm up into P2 because of all the pit stops. I'm going to make my stop here right now.
So in a 25% race, you have to make a pit stop, and Dragons comes in along with Sergio Perez right on his gearbox.
Yeah, I kind of was a bit cautious going into the pit lane there, and Perez seemed to outbrake me to try and gain as much time as possible. But now, let's see if the team will give me a good stop for once.
Well, that was a very decent pit stop from the team, and you've just come out ahead of him.
Well, thank goodness for that, but I've actually gone over the pit exit line because I was kind of happy to get a good pit stop for once. I'm actually quite a far way away from you. You're not that far behind.
Yeah, so at the moment, after the round of stops, we are actually just in P10 as we're going through the middle sector. We've hit the back of Lance Stroll. We've nearly put it in the wall again.
You have put it in the wall. You've got even more damage to the car. And if things couldn't go even worse for you, it's gotten even worse. I can't believe your luck here. You've lost the rear again, and you've binned it into the barriers. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen looking to get ahead of Perez, who's chosen the hard tyre, which is really confusing. But Max Verstappen taking advantage of it and going down the inside. A pretty simple move for the man from the Dutchman.
Yeah, so Max Verstappen managing to get past Perez. Racing Point definitely not confident on the hard tyres, as Dragons now is defending from Max Verstappen. We've just got a few laps to go, and Verstappen has got a very good run here, and he looks to go round the outside of Dragons. No! Dragons has lost it. He's at the wall, and there's a huge crash in the middle sector. The Renault has been collected.
Oh my goodness! It's a multiple car pile-up here in Baku. You have to slow down there and avoid it. You've literally just gone around it all. But what a huge collision. And look at this. Max Verstappen in the slipstream. He just couldn't wait. He could not give me time to process what was happening. I got pushed onto the curb and Perez had to pay for it. He had nowhere to go.
So Sergio Perez loses out. Dragons could have scored a podium in this Grand Prix, but it's amounted to absolutely nothing. But for us, we are up into 5th place. I didn't think we were even going to get points after colliding with Stroll.
And as you can see, Lando Norris is now ahead of you. Since you've got the damage, there's no point pitting. You may as well get to the end of the race. And we now move on to the final lap of the Grand Prix. And I don't know what to say, guys. I'm absolutely gutted. I mean, I always struggle with the castle section on this game, and to survive it for 10 laps and get wiped out is unbelievable. Meanwhile, here is our race winner, Valtteri Bottas, finally on the main straight, coming through to win in Baku and get the better of Lewis Hamilton. Get in there, Valtteri. He wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
It's another Mercedes 1-2, but this time in favour of the Finnish driver. Bottas scores his first win of the season in this Cup My Team series, and meanwhile, here's us. We didn't think we were going to get points here. We could have got a podium, but I'm very happy to get a very well-deserved 5th place after absolutely finessing our way past that crash. At least we got some points at the end. Our guy's really happy about
Indeed.
it. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. It could have been a lot worse for us if we didn't survive that crash. So this is gonna hurt. Max Verstappen ended up on the podium.
Ouch. Absolute ouch. We definitely need to see my perspective there, because I got squeezed onto the curb and I had no grip there, and well, one thing led to another and a lot of retirements. Meanwhile, Valtteri Bottas sprays the champagne with absolute delight and joy for Mercedes. A big win and a big confidence booster. So here is my POV. I got a pretty shaky exit, which put me under a lot of pressure, and Verstappen definitely pounced on that, pushed onto the curb, and bam, into the wall. Perez with nowhere to go. And as I said earlier, one thing led to another. And now let's see Verstappen's point of view of the collision. He sees me struggling there, and of course, knowing Verstappen, he never backs down, Max Verstappen, and he was going to make the move easily. And as you can see, unaffected. Nothing happened to Verstappen, so that was lucky for him.
So Verstappen definitely getting away unscathed from that accident to end a very, very chaotic Azerbaijan Grand Prix, with only one of our cars finishing the race in the end. But Bottas wins its first race ahead of Hamilton and ahead of Verstappen. Lando Norris scoring a very impressive 4th place for McLaren. We come home in 5th, salvaging 10 points for us.
Look who's in P6. Look at that. P6, P6 and P7, Latifi and Raikkonen, both scoring points here in Baku. Oh my lord.
Right it, ladies and gentlemen. So that is the end of a chaotic Azerbaijan Grand Prix, a chaotic episode at the end of the day. Feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoy this content, and we are so close to 500 subscribers, so it would really help us out if you did.
And we'll see you guys later. Goodbye.